People of the internet, this is Scott with Serkworks Art Labs. It's Friday, you know what that means. It's time for Fan Out Friday. Now, you probably noticed we have a different intro. We're not doing the Star Wars intro. So does that mean we're not doing Star Wars this week? Well, kind of, sort of. We are actually doing one Star Wars character and a couple other characters. We're doing, let's see, Rey from The Force Awakens, Katniss from The Hunger Games, and Furiosa from Mad Max. So this is my rough sketch. I'm going to complete this thing. Let's finish it up. Okay, so I have my rough sketch here, and what I'm going to do is I am going to place that on my light table. I've got my Bristol paper that I'm putting over it, turning on the light table, and I sped this up one quite a bit just because I was basically just going over the same lines, and it was a little dark because when you work on the light table, I pretty much have to have everything, all the other lights off, or if I have lights shining on it, it's harder to see. So I have to turn off my desk lamps and everything like that, and do that trace. I've been doing most of these sketches just on regular like copy paper, and I probably should like carry around, because I'm usually out when I'm out and about remotely. I've got copy paper with me, or I can get access to copy paper, so that's when I'm doing my sketch. But I should carry like Bristol paper around, because it's just an extra sketch that I have to do. Because sometimes the blue sketch that you saw first on the paper, on the regular bond paper, it's a little rough, but I think I could clean it enough where I could actually probably ink from there, especially if I'm working with the blue pencil, because like with this red pencil, it's a little harder to take out of the sketch. Like once you let's say if I'm going to scan this in and just use it as line art, which I'll probably end up coloring this one. I'll probably get the Copic markers, and I say Copic markers. I have Copic markers, but I have a bunch of other markers that I also use. I just got a whole new set of I think what are they called? Spectrum markers, and they're not. I don't like them quite as much as the Copics, but they're a little cheaper, and I don't know. I just like to mix it up as long as they're alcohol-based markers, But we're not going to talk about markers too much today, because we're going to talk about inking, which is what I'm working on now. Now I use, the ink that I use is Deleter Black No. 5. It's a manga ink, and it's my absolute favorite ink. And if I run out of it, then I'll just use whatever. I got some Speedball that I can use. But anytime I'm going to do any illustration that I know I'm probably going to do a marker, I use the Deleter Black, because it's the only thing that I found that doesn't bleed. And I've seen other people use other inks with Copic markers and things, but I don't know how they do it, because I can't do it without it smudging. But Deleter Black No. 5, you kind of have to order it from Japan, or a place that has already ordered it from Japan, which they have to tack on extra money because of the shipping and everything, or if you order directly from Japan. So it's a little pricier than some of the other inks, but for me it's well worth it. I like it's nice dark black. It goes on really smooth, and it doesn't smudge when you go over it with alcohol-based markers, which is a definite plus for me, because I do a lot of that kind of stuff. And then I've got a couple different brushes that I use. This one right now is a Winsor Newton Series 7. I believe it's a number 1. A lot of times I'll use a thinner brush, like an aught or a double aught. But I don't have a double aught Winsor Newton Series 7. The Series 7 is kind of like the Cadillac of brushes. And I've got a couple of those, but sometimes if I want a thinner line, I'll use a Cotman brush, which is a watercolor brush. And it's I think they're by Winsor Newton, but they're not like the Series 7. And I like those too. If you want to, excuse me, a more economical brush, I like the Cotman watercolor brushes. They're pretty inexpensive, and yeah, I like those. And sometimes if you see me working with the blue brush, that's the Cotman brush. But anyway, yeah, I always get questions on what what tools and things I use, and I usually neglect to talk about those, and I'm usually talking about movies and stuff, but I've been talking about Star Wars for a while. But let's talk about some of the other characters. So I wanted just to do some badass movie heroines. So I've got Katniss Everdeen from The Hunger Games, Rey from Force Awakens, and of course Furiosa from Mad Max, which is, I mean, I can't believe this movie is up for Academy Award. I mean, it's probably, you know, I love Force Awakens, but I don't know, Mad Max might be my favorite movie of the year. It's really close between that and Force Awakens. Force Awakens was more, I mean, it was just so much nostalgia, and I really loved the new characters and everything like that. But Mad Max, I think, was the one that really like surprised me, just with, and both those movies rely heavily on a lot of practical effects, which is really cool, which I love. Obviously, there's a place for CGI, but I mean the stunts and just the things. I mean, it's just so otherworldly. Mad Max, and the fact that it's an action movie that's up for an Academy Award. I mean, I don't know if it has a chance of winning, but it's cool that it's nominated and it's recognized. And I think a lot of that is they're trying to, now they've got, instead of like 4 or 5 movies that's up for Academy Award, now they have like almost like 10, and I think they're trying to bring in more like popular mainstream movies just to get people to watch it. So that might be it might be all politics, I don't know. But anyway, and as far as Hunger Games, I like that series. I haven't watched the Mockingjay Part 2. I've watched the first one, and I kind of forgot. I'll have to rewatch that. But I don't know, these where they split these last novels into 2 movies. It's almost like they should call it, you know, the Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2, the cash grab or something, because it's just, I don't know. But anyway, I am looking forward to seeing that. Anyway, thanks for following along. Please subscribe. Give me some suggestions on other things you want to see for Fan Art Friday. Like, comment, all that good stuff. And I'll be back next week to color this thing up. And that is all.